Welcome to today's class. Okay, fine. For this class, we'll be learning how to create pivot chart. So your pivot chart basically can be created in two ways. Number one, you can actually create it from your existing pivot table, or probably when you create your table, you can actually create your chart alongside when you are creating your pivot table. But irrespective of that, you have to understand your data. It is not compulsory for you to it's not compulsory for you to show everything on your pivot table on your pivot chart. No, it's not compulsory for you to do that. So please note that. So that's that on that. That's that on that. So I that's that on that. So let's go on without wasting much time. Let's go on with that. So I'm showing us how we are going to create that using our previous um pivot table. Now, for our previous table, now you have to have this at the back of your mind. You have to understand what you want to do. You have to understand your data. Now, let me show us what I mean by understanding your data. Now, for example, now what did you have to ask yourself, what did you want to show? What are your key metrics? What are your key performance indicator? What do you want to show on your chart? So you have to have a template before you create that. You have to know what you are doing. So for this data set, I'll be working on monthly revenue. Looking at the data set, you see that okay, fine. Per month, we can actually get our revenue. Per month, we can actually get the number of units sold. You get so if you want to do a relationship, okay, fine. Per month, the product sold with the unit sold too, based on what you will want to actually show. You get so, and that will be leading to an advanced part of the class where you are going to be using your slicers, where you are going to be using your, we are going to be doing a create, we are going to be creating your dashboard such a way that it's interactive. But that is not now; it's just chat we want to do now. So now we can show monthly revenue, the amount of things sold monthly. Then we can actually show okay, fine, region per unit, so region per revenue. Then we can show okay, fine, the amount, the units sold per product, then the product per revenue. You get so that is that. So for this class, I'll do probably like few examples for us, probably two. Then we'll continue with that. So you can just do your own findings um based on your data set, or you can just follow through what I'll be doing so that we can move with the speed of light. So, and as I said the other time, we can create it from here or we'll do it directly. So I'll be creating some from here and I will do it directly too. Now for this one now, let us quickly do the monthly revenue. Where's the monthly revenue? Now this is it. The monthly revenue. That is a month and sum of the revenue. So for your chart, I will advise that you don't have depending on how you want your chart to look like actually. So you can have it at the top like that, and you might not have it at the top. So if you want to do your chart, I know that normally we'll be having this one as two decimal places, and I feel like it will not make sense on the chart you get. So what I will just do that I will just format this. So I will highlight this one, then you can actually format cell. So when you format your cell, put it in currency. Put it in currency, then we have your decimal place. You can change your decimal place to zero decimal place. Then you change your symbol. Now you have naira there. You have same dollar, pounds, naira. You see Yoruba, Igbo, and all like that. You can just pick any of those ones and press your enter. Then you press your OK. So you see, I formatted it in such a way that um, you can easily see that. Now let me quickly teach you something. Now when you format your table like this, you can actually format. other part where you have your naira, the sum of revenue you get. So what you can do is that after highlighting like this, you go to your format painter. So you just highlight anywhere you want to change. Like for this one now, let me highlight this one to change it. You see, you have it changed. So if you want to, if you are doing that one, you can actually format this one like this, then format it like this. You get. So I will not be doing everything. I'll just follow up with. I'll just do that. So we have gotten the understanding. So I will leave other parts. Now, let me say something. If you are showing a chart like that and you are showing a chart relationship like this one, like this product unit sold, and or you can create your pivot table like this, then you use it for your chart. So it's dependent on what you want to do. Well, I'll not be doing too much of combining, but I actually did it this way so that people can you should be able to know that you can combine those stuffs together. So this one, product and unit, product and revenue. I don't think I have product and revenue here. Product and revenue. Okay, fine. You can do that in the chat. So I'll just create that one. So now let's create this one. Now we have this one here. You can just highlight this one. After highlighting, you just go to your insert. Then you choose. You now pick your chart. Now, I said it in the previous class. I said you need to understand the kind of chart that actually fit into your findings, what you want to show. So sometimes your chart your chart might not actually reflect what you want to show very well. So you have to be careful of your chart when especially when it comes to selection. You understand? So for me, basically, because this one is from January, it's like a time stuff. So I would prefer it to be a line chart. So when you click on the line chart, you can have an idea of what you want. Did you get that? You can have an idea of what you actually want. You understand? So this is on this. So you have created your chart. But I will advise that you create your chart in a new sheet so that it will not be rough. You get. So you can create a new sheet, then rename it pivot chart or charts. Then you can copy from there. You can copy from there. You can copy from there. You get. Come and paste it here. You understand? Or I want to show us the two ways we can do is copy or paste it, or probably okay, I'll show us with other format. Like if you are selecting it afresh, you can actually put existing. Like it will give you. Okay, I would explain that one now. Okay, let's say you want to use a new sheet like this, and you want to show you don't have it before, so you have your pivot chart. Now you can use pivot chart or use pivot chart and table. So to show it at once, depending. So now beforehand, I think I did not create on my pivot table here. I did not create the one that shows product and revenue. That's product revenue alone. So let's use that one for example to create that. Okay, let's go to this. Then let's go to pivot chart and pivot table. So you can use table range. You know that you can use table range, but we have it on our data model already. It's existing, so we can click OK. So let's see, it's loading. It's because it's been a while. That was loading. You see now pivot chart. This is your pivot table. So we can have this one. Your pivot chart. Let's see. You want to show product revenue, your products and your revenue. Did you see that? Did you see that? You get? Did you see that? So that's that on that. So did you see how you create that? So you can have it there now for a very beautiful chart like this. When you if you want to create it, look at this one. See this one and this one if you want to create it. Now, if you want to select your chart, you have to understand that you can delete this one if you want to, but let me just leave it for now. So we're creating other. part of the chart too. Now, so what you need to understand is that you have to understand the kind of chart that actually fits in into what you are showing, and then the way you want to show it. Now, looking at it now, I have these two charts. There's a line chart, and this is um, looking like a bar chart or a column chart like that. So now, two things. You can change your chart. You can just right click, then go to change uh, chart type. So you can have different templates like column, see column chart, line, bar, you see bar, pie, area, and all that. So if you click a chart that doesn't fit in into what you are designing, it will tell you that you can't create a chart with this one. So you can use your chart to create maps too, but you have to represent it in state or in region. You get, so that's that on that. So for this chart now, let's look at this. Let's look at this now. Now let me quickly teach us how you can actually edit this chart. Then you will want to create all your chart yourself. You create other ones, the ones for state and revenue, units sold per month, units sold per state, units sold per product. So when we are done with that, we'll be creating a dashboard, a very small dashboard for beginners actually. It will not be so thick. So now let's quickly do this one. Now note, when you have your chart like this, you can actually edit it. You can make it, let me make it a little bit smaller. Let me make it a little bit like this, smaller. So for this one, you can actually edit it, the chart element. For example, the axis. Okay, fine. If you don't want to show a particular axis, if you want to show, so you can click vertical. You see, I just removed then the primary vertical axis. You get. So then, if you want to label your each bar like this instead of having it by the side, that one is dependent on you. You get is dependent on you. Then gradient line, your legend. You can remove this legend so that it will not look so rough. Then what other thing like that? So also you can do it the way you want. Now if you look at it, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you can actually format your data well. If you don't format it well, you will not get the right stuff. Like look at this one, is have it in digit. So if you have it in two decimal place, if you want to leave it in two decimal place, fine. But I advise you don't leave it in two decimal place so that it will look more proper and more neat. Then you can put your naira here. So if you format this one, what's that, brother? If you format this guy well now, it would actually help us. So when you bring this one out, it will change it here to affect it. But that's about that. I think we have done that one before. So now for this one now, you can change the color also. You can change the format. You see, we have different formats here. You can change the color if you want to. Actually, you can change it any color you want to give it to, so you can change it to. But I would advise that you have a template of color that you want. You create, if you are creating your chart and then you are going into your dashboard, I would advise you have a template. You have a design, a wireframe. So when you want to create your dashboard, you might not actually do anything color and all. Yeah, when you want to create your dashboard, that is when you now do all coloring stuff, because so that you not be changing like that. Let me undo this one. So for your buttons also, you can actually change your buttons like this. Your field button, you can tell me, okay, no, I don't want it to actually show. I just want my designs like this. If you want to remove the gradient, you can actually, I said gradient, the grid lines you get, you see, to make it. Then don't forget, this is your header. You can change the name of your header. So let me quickly change that one. Let's say month product revenue. Product product revenue. That's a product revenue. So you can change it like that just to name it. You see, so nice. So for this one too, let me just Let me remove show legend buttons. Okay, I've removed the buttons. Then let's change this one to monthly revenue. You can even change your font if you want to, but just to get the idea of what it looks like. Fine, monthly revenue. I can remove this legend. I can do it at the top and then remove it. Then I want it to be labeled on the lines. Then I will remove vertical. You get, so you can actually reduce your charts like this. You can, depending on how you want to make your chart look like. So now look at this. That is that for that. So you now for us, for every one of us now, we'll be creating different we'll be creating different we'll be creating different chart ourselves depending on the insights what we want to show. So that's that about that. So we are done with this class. So I'm going to meet next class. So what you are doing is that you are recreating this one, then you are having, you see that I changed, I formatted it, I changed it into naira and then it appeared here. So that I have it like that in naira. So nice. So I'm done with that like that. So so now that's that on that. Let me just remove this pivot table. Let me see. So I just dropped this one here so that I can have my chart, all my charts at once here. You get, now the reason why I'm showing us how I'm doing it is because I wanted to understand the fact that this is true, and then you can edit. Even you can actually edit it from here if you want your chart, you want the spacing, the size, and the properties, the width, and things like that. You can use this side too. So this is dependent on y- how you want it to be like. You get your border automatic. You get what I'm saying. So I'm just showing all these ones. I'm just navigating through so that you can actually get to understand that like that. The more you solve problems here, the more you get better. So I will leave this with us. So you would want to create the other ones, the state revenue, each state revenue, the units sold per month, units sold per state, units sold per product. So when we are now done, when you are done with that, we'll be doing a very small dashboard. Let's say small that is mini dashboard showing this, combining all what you have created. Then we do dashboard. We're not be doing so thick like that, but so that we understand the concept behind dashboard. See you in the next class.